Go.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV Live. I'm your host, Peter Lee. With me, as always, is my cameraman, director, producer, the man who makes it all happen, and he's also my husband, Phil Gordimer.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching us from or watching us in preview. And if you listen carefully, you'll hear a little bit of thunder in the background. So if we get rain, we will probably have to stop this live stream short because we're under a metal roof and it gets really loud when it rains. So hopefully we'll get through this.
And as always, as Phil said, we're filming outside because we're in our campground, so there's going to be extra noises, people walking by, vehicles, but we'll do our best as always. So let us know, too, if you can hear us okay. Our cocktail today will be Friday's episode. Now, normally I do a cocktail I've already taught you, but we're doing a little different today. This cocktail is called the Bee's Knees, and it's beautiful for a hot summer day, like it is here in the mountains. It's very hot and moist, and so you may see us mopping our brows. But this is a nice lemony cocktail. Little twist like that. It's called the Bee's Knees because it's made with honey syrup. But I'll teach you about that on Friday. Here you go, dear. So cheers to you, and cheers to you. Thank you for joining us today. That's good stuff. All right.
The campground's running a little slow today because yesterday was the largest event at our campground called Illumination, where everyone lights up their sites with candles and lights and a theme. And it was magical walking around the campground with luminaries all down the sides. But it was very, very hot last night.
Yeah. We're running a little low on energy this morning.
A lot of people got a hangover, so.
All right. So Midnight Munchies. I'm going to be making one of my favorite Midnight Munchies today. We're going to make onion rings.
All right, so let's see who's here. We've got Hank, who says,
hope you enjoyed your vacation time. We sure did, Hank. Thanks. It's been a great, great vacation.
one more day left.
Yep.
Right.
Here comes Staff on the gator.
And Hank's favorite is popcorn.
All right. So onion rings. I like to use these great big onions, these great big white ones. You can use whatever kind you like, really. But I like these because you get big, meaty onion rings. I just remove the outer loose paper, and then just gonna chop the top off. And then we're gonna wait a moment while the gator comes by. It's the campground staff. We'll allow them. And I just like to take this first outer layer off because it's kind of tough sometimes and not very appetizing. Pretty easy. But whenever I can, when it cooperates, I like to do that and leave some on so I have a handle to hold this while I slice it. I just like nice thick slices. Yeah, half an inch. They don't have to be perfect. You can usually get 2 or 3 good slices.
All right, so Melissa's joining us from balmy Michigan.
All right.
I wish we could say it's balmy here. It's we're spetzing a little bit. And Hank says it's 88 in Arizona. So he's in a cold wave right now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's only 80 something here, but it's very, very humid. It's crazy humid here.
Yeah, there's lots of storms. We're hoping they're going to blow right past us.
Yeah, we were hearing thunder just as we started the broadcast, so we'll see what happens. So anyway, yeah, good afternoon. Agree with Hank. Popcorn is satisfying and so versatile. That's true. I love some popcorn. Doesn't always love me, but I love it. So that's the easy part. Slicing the onion, separating them. Actually, this is probably the toughest part of all of it. Now let's get this out of the way. Over here. I will use this all later for dinner. Don't worry, we're not wasting.
We still have one more day of vacation. All our guests just left this morning.
Yes.
We had a full house over the weekend, so we were cooking for 10. But they were helping us decorate, and we did a fantastic job. And
Yeah. We'll put pictures up on our social media.
most people who know us know we're very heavy into Halloween, so we did a Halloween theme here last night.
Now, when I make onion rings, I like to soak them for a couple hours in buttermilk. Just plain buttermilk, nothing fancy. And that just draws out some of the acrid taste. It tenderizes them a little bit, gives them a little extra tang. So we want to bread and fry these. Now, I've got my oil heating, and I started heating this earlier so we wouldn't have to wait 12 hours for this to heat up. We want to get this to 350 degrees. There we go. And I think we're almost there. Yeah, it's going up fast.
There, while you're doing that, let's see what some of the Facebook people have to say.
My late naughty food is a patty melt from Janice. I haven't had a good patty melt in a long time. Yeah, that nice greasy, crusty bread.
Open-faced?
I don't know. Mine were never open-faced in my diners, but... So I'm going to set up a little dredging station while my oil heats. So I have my onion rings here. We have some seasoned flour. It's just flour, some garlic powder, salt and pepper. We're just going to give that a little whisk to combine. That's pretty simple. And then I have a cup of flour here. This is just plain flour. I'm going to add a beer. Now I've let all this sit out to come up to room temperature. Even the beer, I know, warm beer, but it's important to have things at room temperature. If you put a freezing cold onion ring in that oil, it's going to pull the oil temperature down, and then you get greasy onion rings. Nobody wants that. So this is a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add 12 ounces of beer. Just like that. This is going to be kind of like a tempura batter. Just going to whisk this together. Just like that.
How do you know how thick it's supposed to be?
This is just a good ratio. A tempura batter is not a thick batter. People think batters should be really, really thick. And sometimes, depending on what you're doing, you want them thicker. But this is a thinner batter. All right, get that all mixed up.
All right, Melissa says a bowl of cereal is filling and easy to make homemade hot chocolate.
Homemade hot chocolate.
So we're lucky living in New Jersey, which is the diner capital of the world. And as the nature of diners are, most of them are open 24 hours. And almost all good diners will serve breakfast all night long. So you can get back from somewhere at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and just munch out wherever you want.
You're almost there. Of course, right before we started filming, I had this up to like 375. I said, oh, let me just turn it off for just a couple minutes. I'll put the lid on, and now it's going, no, I'm not going to heat back up for you. Ha ha. So midnight munchies, that's what this is all about. This is one of my favorite go-to midnight munchies. Last night, Phil and I were walking around. We did the tour of the campground for the illumination, and we got back. And
close to midnight.
Yeah, we both said, I'm a little hungry. Now, this campground is literally on the side of a mountain, and it's about 2 miles long, and it's on multiple levels. So you're climbing up steep hills and walking levels, and it's a lot of exercise.
My Fitbit was happy. I got 22,000 steps.
Yeah, mine was too. So we got home, and I had made chili for lunch yesterday, and it had just been sitting on the pot on the back of the stove, patiently waiting to get put away. And we came home, went, ooh, chili would be good as a midnight munchie.
And gooey, gooey, cheese.
Yeah, so we heat it up a little bit, and oh, did that hit the spot. Now, then I did sit up until about 3 in the morning because eating chili at midnight and going right to bed, well, you know how it goes.
We didn't say it was a good idea. We just said it was good.
Yeah.
All right. Anita says, we used to go to Denny's after the club on a Saturday night.
Yes, back in the day, as the kids say, back in the 80s for me.
You know, the Denny's around us have all closed up.
That's right. Yeah, but there's nothing better than when you left the club, it's 2 a.m. and you're having coffee and breakfast and you're with your friends and it's a great time. At least I always thought so. All right, we're just about there. Come on, come on.
Doesn't want to do it now because it's waiting.
I know, because it's on TV.
You can turn it up any?
It's all the way up, dear.
That's a lot of oil, so.
There we go. Now we got it. 350, 351, 352. Awesome. Let's make some onion rings.
Got your spider?
No, I don't have a spider here. I have tongs. Somewhere. I had tongs. I'll get some tongs.
Exit stage left.
Here we go. So I'm going to kind of use the wet hand, dry hand method, sort of. Just going to take a couple of these, shake off the extra, into the plain flour, or seasoned flour rather. We use dry hand, just a light dredge. That's just going to help the batter stick to the onion ring. Just like that. Tap off any extra, right into the batter. Let some of that drizzle off, and then right into the oil. Carefully. And this is just a fun little exercise and well worth it. So we're just going to let these fry until they are golden brown and delicious. I can't tell you how long it's going to take because everyone's onion is different. Everyone's stove is different.
How do you keep them from sticking together?
Well, I'm not going to overcrowd the pan. And that's the key. Because if you overcrowd it, they could stick together. You're going to bring your oil temperature down. Ooh, fun, fun, fun.
So now the next real question is, what do we eat with these onion rings this afternoon now that our guests are gone?
Yeah, that's important. Our guests are gone. Yay! I don't know. I am happy with onion rings. But you can make a sauce. You know, there's all kinds of easy sauces to make. And had I been a little more clever, I probably would have made one. But sometimes just plain ketchup on these is good. But you can get fancy. You could make, you know, some sort of dressing with them with ketchup and sour cream and spices and things. So this is a labor of love. I'm not going to do all of these, but I'll do several of them for you. From Bill, love your pistachio rack of lamb episode. Thank you. That is one of our favorite things. I love to make that when I'm feeling a little extra, a little fancy.
And it was popular. It's gotten 3,000 views, and that's unusual for us. Usually takes a few months to get there. It's only been 2 weeks.
Yep. Usually I'll make that when I've bought something expensive or I want to buy something expensive. Honey, you made your favorite dinner. All right, let's check these. Maybe I'll gently give them a flip to make sure they're getting cooked nicely. They sure do smell good.
Doesn't look like much batter on them.
There's more batter on them than you think. It's a light batter, dear. It's not a big gloppy.
Well, I'm all the way over here on the side, so.
Well, trust me. Trust your bear.
I'm looking through the camera.
Trust your bear, dear.
All right.
My favorite was IHOP, Rich and Rudy, Tutti Frutti. Yeah. I could never say that jingle, even when it was popular back then. We didn't have many IHOPs near me. I think I've only been once or twice, but I remember that whole ad slogan they had. But that was another one because they were open for 24 hours, so that the midnight Munchies. even if it was not even coming home from the clubs, just we're up late watching movies, let's go out and get something.
Okay, so it's time for a commercial. It's time to pat ourselves on the back because we had a great day yesterday.
We did. Yes, we did. Yes, we hit 3,000 subscribers. Finally.
Yes,
Yay,
the last week was a crawl to get there.
Yep.
It was teasing us, 96, 97, 98. And it's tough in the summer because there are not a lot of views on your channel. You know, in the winter and fall months, we get 20, 30,000 views a month. In the summer, not so much.
Yep.
So it kind of crawls, but it's okay. I'll take 3,000.
All right, I'm going to pull these out. They're nice and golden. Now, Phil's going to say they look very pale. They're very crispy. They're going to continue to cook. And I'm putting them on paper towels because the paper towel will wick that oil away. So I can put this where you can see them. There we go. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, it's a big milestone. And we were just celebrating someone else for making 5,000, so we're catching up.
And YouTube growth is exponential, so it takes you forever to get your first 1,000, then half as much time to get your second 1,000, and then a third as much time to get your third 1,000. So we kind of think now maybe after 3 years and 200 plus episodes, we're finally on the way. Woohoo!
I'm just going to keep frying this while we talk about Midnight Munchies. So I'm really curious what some other Midnight Munchies are. I mean, we've heard popcorn.
Okay, let me look through the Facebook messages.
Ooh.
Someone's popping the balloons.
Yep. As we have fans walking by out in the road, I have to say hi to my fans. Hi, guys.
So Danielle says fully loaded French fries.
Okay, like disco fries?
All right, what's the true definition of disco fries?
I'm not sure. They didn't have them when I was younger. They had loaded fries. I don't remember them being called disco fries, though.
Now, to me, to me, the name disco fries implies that it's smothered with gravy and cheese.
Yeah, isn't that poutine or poutine or?
Yes, but you know, this is North Jersey in New York area.
Yeah.
So they call it these things. So what happens is when all the people are in the clubs in New York, they jump over the bridge to all the 24-hour diners right over the bridge or the tunnel in New Jersey and munch out all night.
Which is funny, for the city that never sleeps, you would think they have plenty of restaurants. Which they do.
So we actually, when we're home and the season is over, in the winter and the spring, we do what we call the Jersey Diner Tour. And there are literally 200 plus diners in southern New Jersey where we are. So we play pin the map. We get a map out and go, bang, we're going here. And we find the diner in that town and we go to it. And we always get the same thing the first time we go to a diner, so we can judge them to decide if we're going back for more.
Yeah. And we don't really go out very often late, but when we do, we have a couple favorites that we'll stop at on our way home when we need those midnight munchies.
So Peter always gets French toast with a side of sausage.
Yep.
If we're trying to dine it for the first time, because doing French toast correctly and having the center de custard is
Yeah, I
tough.
like my French toast where the outside is a little crisp, the inside is soft and custardy. I hate biting into French toast where it's just dry and crumbly inside the bread, because they just did a quick little dip and toss it in some butter to fry.
And mine is cream chip beef on toast, and that's because I know the taste and texture of canned cream, so I can tell if they made it homemade. And those are usually the two decisions that say, okay, you're going on our checklist for, we're going to give you a second try, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah,
It's
we
kinda fun.
keep a database so we remember.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. We keep a database of diners and a database of wineries.
I think I'm going to
Looking
allow you to
good.
taste some of these soon, dear. I know you want to.
I'm still working on my cocktail.
Well, I know. It's you know, day drinking.
Day drinking, yay! And it's only 5 to 1.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about this theme for this, or subject matter for this episode. I've been trying to remember all those years ago when I would go out. We used to have a restaurant chain called the Ground Round. Do you remember them?
I do.
Were they national or were they just in this area? But they had
Sure.
great midnight munchie foods. And I'll never forget the first time my friends, I was in college, and I didn't live a sheltered life, but it was kind of structured, and it just never occurred to me as a high schooler that you could go out. Like if we went to the movies, you couldn't go, it never occurred to me to go out and eat again. I ate my dinner, I went to a movie, and now I go home. The whole concept of, it's 11 o'clock at night and we're eating again? What? And then some of my friends in college were, hey, let's go out and we'll get this. And so we had all these fried foods, and it was the most glorious experience. Started a lifetime of bad habits.
So Hank is asking us to define the gravy. I'm sure that's in reference to the French fries. No, it's not Sunday.
No, sir?
Not the Sunday gravy that they call it in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
No, it's real beef.
Brown gravy.
Brown gravy. Yep.
Yes. No, that's Sunday gravy. Anything breaded and fried. Onion rings, mozzarella sticks, chicken tenders. Yes. Anything breaded and fried.
Wait, speaking of chicken tenders.
Oh, yes. So hopefully they're in chat.
Hope so.
Happy birthday shout out to our friend Phil. So Phil and Dixie, if you're in chat, let us know. We know how much Phil loves chicken. So happy birthday. I have some more chicken episodes coming.
Ooh, this is a weird one. I would think this more for your car than a late night snack.
Slim Jims and beef jerky. Well, whatever floats your boat, dear. Whatever,
All right, and this one's a given. I don't know why we didn't think of this, but then again, we don't eat this item much at all.
Pizza and lots of it. Okay, sure. In Provincetown, aka P-Town, there is a famous pizzeria called Spiritus Pizza. And in Provincetown, everything closes at 1 a.m. And there goes a gator. So it's the camp manager. So we'll let the boss go. Anyway, when all the bars and restaurants close, Spiritus is allowed to stay open until 2. So everyone gathers at this one pizzeria. And honestly, it really isn't that good at pizza. But at 1 a.m., you've been out dancing with your peeps.
All right, so I'll answer this one.
It's all about gathering with everyone and having this crappy pizza.
Okay, so Melissa, Sunday gravy is sort of a first-generation Italian thing. We live in southern New Jersey, and Philadelphia has a huge Italian-American community. So Sunday gravy is when they start the tomato sauce on Sunday and add to it and spice it up and cook it all day.
And a lot of times they'll make enough to last the whole week. And actually in Italy, though, it's not always on Sunday, but there are sauces or versions of marinara sauces and things that they will simmer for all day.
And if you want to get an argument with people, it's sauce everywhere else, including Italy. Yet the Southern Philly Italians will tell you, no, it's gravy. Yeah. No, that's what they call it. It's really sauce. And it got its name gravy because when the Italian Americans came to the country, meat was readily available. So adding meat to the sauce was something that was not normally done in Italy.
Yeah, there are meat sauces there, but it wasn't always, depending on where you came from in Italy, it wasn't as common as it was here. It was much more. So that just kind of evolved here. These are looking pretty good.
All right, so here's someone else who likes chicken tenders. Kitchen Zero, he's been with us a few times in Facebook.
Yeah, I like chicken tenders. I used to like that was always a safe thing to get.
Come on, with kids and grandkids, haven't we had enough chicken tenders?
Well, I'm talking before that. I'm talking about when I was a younger man.
All right, they're looking really good.
Yeah, and it's getting very hot, so I'm not sure how many more I'm going to do.
And I still hear thunder.
Ooh, I know. That's all right, dear.
Hold on. We're saying Pete's mic's not working.
Check me, check me.
Oh, hold on. You need a battery replacement.
Oh,
really? Give me a second. Really?
My bear. That's live TV.
Yeah, batteries went dead. All right.
Better? Am I back?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Talk.
1, 2, 3, 4,
you're
5.
back.
I'm good. All right. All right.
Wonder how long that's been going on for. Oops. So much for me looking at the meters.
That's all right, dear.
All right,
Live
so
TV.
I'm allowed one epic fail.
You are. Okay. It's 9,000 degrees here. So I think I'm about done frying onion rings.
Okay, so then here's an appropriate question.
When you deep fry, do you prefer an electric fryers or just on the stove? That's a tough question, and I'll tell you why.
Well, we don't have one right now.
But we've had a couple of them over the years, and they were great. We don't eat much deep fried food, honestly.
Or pizza.
Right, or pizza. I've had electric fryers, and I love them because they're very easy to control the temperature. And a lot of them, you can put the basket in and then put the lid on it so there's less splatter, and it vents the steam out. But this method is just as easy, and this is what I have because I don't have an electric deep fryer. Santa keeps saying that I'm going to have it for Christmas every year, and it hasn't happened yet.
Ho ho.
I like them both. I will use whatever I have, honestly. I would say if you were going to get an electric one, do some research. There's some of the new ones. They have a reservoir for the oil, and it drains and filters it, and then you can store that oil. And more fans, and a golf cart. You can store that oil and reuse it for a couple of times. So that makes it easier for you. All right, let's get rid of this mess.
All right, while you're doing that,
I'll finish making onion rings a little later.
Karen says, how long of the season you guys are at your campsite? We are very far north. I'd rather not say where because this is a private campground for private members and to respect their privacy. But we are somewhere between Scranton, Pennsylvania and Binghamton, New York, which means after Labor Day, it already gets below freezing.
Sometimes even by Labor Day.
Even by Labor Day. So it's a short season.
Yeah.
So by Labor Day, we're already doing a soft pack up and take stuff home. Usually by a week after or the week after that, we're done because it goes below freezing.
Usually, we've been here till the very end, which is usually end of September, early October, but it's too cold. And, you know, we come up here every single week. So usually by Labor Day, it's like, oh, we got to do that drive again.
Yeah, it's 175 miles one way, 3 hours.
It starts to get a little old. But
so once we get towards the end of the season, we're like, okay, we are so done. It's time to pack up and get life back. And then our cats are going like, what? You're home? What the hell?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're here almost every weekend throughout the summer.
No, this is good.
I don't remember the last time I had midnight food. I'm in bed by 9 every night from Paul. Yeah, me too, Paul. Cheers.
9 o'clock. Who are you kidding? You haven't finished your second cocktail at 9 o'clock.
Well, normally we're just eating dinner at 9 o'clock, but we're certainly not going out. Long gone are the days where it would be 11:30 before I would even consider going out, and then my friends and I would go out to the bars. We'd be in the bar for maybe an hour before they closed, and then we would go to Denny's and have midnight munchies.
I can't remember the last time we were in a bar because A, we don't go to bars, and B, I make better drinks.
Exactly. Would you, dear, like to try an onion ring?
Of course I would.
All
That's
right.
stupid.
I'll get you a little plate and a nappy. Oops.
Let's see if the teeth can do it.
Oh, well. Hopefully. You want a fork and knife?
Yeah, just in case.
My poor little bear and his teeth. All right.
For those following the saga of my dental work, my final denture is in, but we're here on vacation, so I can't get it for another week. Oh.
Here, the forks are there. You can get one yourself. Hopefully these are not surface of the sun hot. They've cooled enough. How is it? That's good. That's good. So this batter is very, very light and crispy. I know on camera it probably looks like there's not a lot on there, but there really, really is. And all the seasonings in the flour
Pick the plate up and bring it towards the camera so they can kind of see it.
Which plate?
The big one. Look at your monitor.
Yes, dear. Hold on. There we go.
There you go.
So these are onion rings. They're pretty good. Okay. You have to remember, dear, when I'm... He always tells me, oh, you have to hold things over the pot before on the other camera so I can get a close-up on it. The problem is this is hot. And when the fire's under, it's like, okay, I can't hold stuff right here for too long because I'm getting burned here, dear. So what are the midnight munchies are there? You know, it's funny how I'll find almost anything that's good for midnight munchie. A leftover pork chop, leftover meatloaf, you know, that second piece of pie, ice cream.
All right, so let's take a time break here for a second.
We have some shout outs.
As everybody knows, Peter and I are big supporters of small YouTube channels because we understand how hard it is. A lot of people are under the conception you just start a channel and a few videos later you have hundreds of subscribers and you're making money, and it just doesn't work that way.
Nope.
It's 3 to 4 years of hard work and dedication, and then you start to slowly build an audience. Will you make money? Probably never. So we make it a point to visit lots of small channels, channels our size, channels a little bigger than us, some smaller, and give them a boost. We like their videos, we comment, we let them know we're here.
We steal are inspired by some of their ideas.
So we try, whenever possible, to feature one. So I want to feature one today.
Very good.
So let me go back here. So
there's our friend.
So this is Daniela from Black Cat Kitchen. And of course, I fell in love with the name because we've got 4 cats, of which 3 of them are black.
Yep.
Daniela is mostly a baker. And like us, she tries to make recipes simple for everyone to do. I will leave the link to her channel down in our show notes. Go visit her. She's working at about 1,500 subscribers, which is where we were last year.
Yep.
So yeah, we know that. So go visit and check them out. And you know what? You want to help a channel, hit that like button. Here, hit the like on today's views.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button. Show them some love. Give them a comment, good, bad, or ugly.
Yep.
Comments help channels.
And for us too. But so here's a perfect case where Daniela, being more of a baker and having watched several of her videos, it makes me want to do some more baking. And I am a lot of things, and I keep telling you all, I am not a baker. One of my brothers was a pastry chef. When I went to culinary school, I was like, nope, I'll do savory, thank you. Baking is a science, and I didn't do well in science in school. And baking is that everything must be exact. But I can do it. I can follow a recipe, and I do bake a few things. Yes, Kevin, loaded nachos and chicken wings. Yes, chicken wings and nachos. I forgot about nachos. Good idea.
Oh, isn't this ironic? Look what the next question from Facebook is.
How about an episode on buffalo wings? Actually, I am working on a wing recipe.
Yeah, we've tested a few. They need a bit more work, but we're getting there.
And the big thing about wings, do you bake or do you fry? I've tried a couple of recipes that are baked. Meh, not so much. So the next route is going to be the frying.
Excuse me.
Oh, careful. Anyway, as I was saying, Daniela has inspired me, Daniela from Black Hat Kitchen has inspired me to start to bake more. which will make my husband very happy.
Okay, so from our friend Bri, who left us a message on a previous video.
Oh, yes, Brian. Our friend Brian is a radio DJ in New York State. He's great. So he noticed we have things on our wine glasses both here at home. We have these little things on the stem. It's just one of those wine markers to let you identify your wine glass when you're at a party and you put your drink down. You're like, oh, where did it go? And then our friend Matthew bought us some of these little guys, and we love them, so we bought even more. So thanks, Matt, aka Mabel. And this is just another little fun way to identify your wine glass. You don't even need a coaster with these. It's great.
And they're suctioned, so you can't knock them over.
Some of them, yeah, there's one set that we have that when you put it down, I don't think it was designed that way on purpose, but it forms a suction, and you go to pull your glass, you're like, yeah. So that's what these are, Brian, just another little fun way to identify your wine glass.
No coaster needed.
Yep. Yep. From Erin, I want a full breakfast. Eggs, bacon, home fries. Yeah, you know, back in the day when I was going out, we would all rotate through, and sometimes, you know, that late at night, a nice hearty breakfast, all the stuff, the eggs, the greasy food is really comforting and really hits the spot in those midnight munchies. Actually, when I was in college, and one of the first times I went out and my friends, when I was of legal age to drink, because I never went out before I was legal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, Jan.
I'd come home and I'd gone out with my friends, and I was a little hungover the next morning, and my mom and dad were laughing at me, and my mom goes, well, you know, what would help that is if you and your friends had gone out and had some breakfast. When I was in college, we would go out and have a good time, and then we would go out and have greasy food, scrambled eggs and bacon, and there was an all-night diner in the city because she grew up in New York City. And I was shocked, like, Mom, you went out when you were in college and you went out at, really? That was not my mother. So to hear that she went out, had a good time, kind of made me feel good, but it was a little bit of a shock to my system that my mother had a life before her children. How is that possible? What else do we have, dear?
Hold on, I'm typing one that came in from Facebook late.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if I can spell it correctly and get the right person.
Oh, dear.
Ooh, that's a weird spelling of a name. Hang on.
Okay. All right, hold on.
I don't have a way of automatically getting our Facebook ones, so I have to type them in when they come in.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, our YouTube ones we can get automatically.
From Kit. Don't forget the biggest greasy hamburger. Yeah, that's always a good one. That's always a good midnight munchie. And yeah, kind of like the patty melt that someone mentioned earlier. That great greasy, but it's meat and it's hearty, and then it just soaks up when your tummy's full of booze or beer or whatever. It's just kind of helps coat and soothe and relieve.
No, there would never be alcohol involved. We can't be driving with alcohol.
That's why you go out for breakfast and have midnight munchies. Or even when you're sitting at home. I mean, come on, dear. Let's be honest. How often at home it's 11:30 and we're getting ready for bed and we go,
Ice
I'm
cream.
a little munchy. What do we
Ice
have?
cream.
I mean, last night we had chili. The other night we were chewing on leftover pork chops. Literally, as we're walking into the camper, which is right behind Phil, we're getting ready to go into bed, and we both got pork chops in there, full caveman on them.
For whatever reason, we eat a lot more up here than we do at home, partly because we're walking around, and this campground is exercises. It's 2 miles from one end to the other.
But it's not a flat 2 miles, like I said. It's uphills and downhills, and yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of golf carts and gators going by because as our campground ages, the men don't want to walk anymore.
And aren't you the one who was talking about getting a golf cart for next year?
What, me? Never.
Yeah, right. Sure, Jan. How are we doing on time? I've completely lost track of time.
We have about 15 more minutes, and we don't have a whole lot more comments.
Awesome. That's all right.
Hold on. Oh, here's an interesting one.
Ooh, a hot pastrami sandwich. That's one of my favorite things ever. I don't think I've ever thought of that as a midnight munchie. Now I will.
Yeah, but see, I want a corned beef sandwich, and we're going to do that.
That's fine. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find pastrami, but ooh, for good pastrami anyway. Yeah, that's a nice rye bread that's a little fried and grilled with spicy mustard. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, wait, this is for our New Yorkers, I'm sure.
Bagels and schmears of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have a friend who, whenever we would go out and he was with us after the clubs, he would always get the same thing. He would order whatever food, but he always ordered a bagel with cream cheese. And sometimes we would all look at him like, really? But, yeah. He was one of those annoying people that would eat all his food, but he was this big around. He was always fit and trim and could just shovel it down his gullet like a crazy person. And yeah, we all hated him. So what else? What else we got, dear?
Hold on, I'm typing another one that just came in. I wish I could find a way to get our Facebook ones without me typing them.
That's all right, dear. That's all right. Have you ever heard of the garbage breakfast from Jack? No. Is that like one of those eggy things where they just throw whatever's in there? Kevin, my son, Kevin Gordimer, doesn't your mother used to make a garbage soup or something where she would clean out the refrigerator? And I wonder if that's what a garbage breakfast is. Let's just throw a bunch of stuff in some eggs and fry it up.
Could be. I can't say I know.
I've never heard of that.
All right, so we just played Stump the Chef, and
so yeah, someone Google that
and Jack won. All right, I'm not going to do that. Let me do that.
Do that, dear. Google it. Garbage breakfast. My goodness.
Garbage breakfast. I have garbage bread, garbage for breakfast.
Okay, no idea. Nope.
Okay, here's one. Garbage for breakfast recipe: a dozen eggs, 2 onions, a pound of ham, 16 ounces of frozen hash browns, cheddar cheese, salt, and pepper.
That sounds like...
So it's a big scrambled egg. Scrambled egg smash up.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was trying to think when we were talking about this when I was younger and we would go out to Denny's. There was one Denny's where all the wait staff knew us because our club was just around the corner. So it was a ritual, and I was trying to remember some of the stuff that Denny's used to have back in the day. You know, they had their Grand Slam breakfast, but they had a whole other lot of things. I think they had something called Moon Over My Hammy or something. It was some eggy ham and cheese breakfast dish. But it was always kind of fun. Like, what are you going to order? Are you going to get the Grand Slam, or are you going to get the whatever? I can't remember them all.
You haven't invaded a Denny's until you work with a marching band of 250 kids.
Yeah.
And after the marching band show is over, you all go en masse to Denny's, and you watch the managers and wait staff scurry. Yeah.
Yep. Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Those were the days.
Fans. Yeah, those were the days, and that was like 30 years ago, dear. But really, you know, Midnight Munchies for us now is, like I said, it's just a cold pork chop. Sometimes we're healthy, though. Sometimes we're not always like cavemen. Sometimes we're like, let's have celery and peanut butter.
No celery, no celery.
Let's have a peach or a nectarine, and yeah.
So we stopped eating ice cream years ago when I lost a ton of weight, because we used to have a ritual of a scoop of ice cream every night at 10 o'clock. Well, that scoop became a bowl, which became a half gallon.
Yeah.
So we stopped ice cream completely about 8 years ago. So every so often I have to make a run to Wawa, and we get a tiny pint, because if I bought a half gallon, we'd have no self-control. So just a pint, and then we'll gorge on that pint and go, oh my God, we can't have this ever again.
Yeah, now in ice cream, it's like, oh, my tummy hurts because we're out of practice. But we don't really even do Midnight Munchies very often.
Now, give us a couple of martinis and Manhattans, and, you know, there's no limit.
Well, you know, a boy has to indulge once in a while, right? And we're on vacation, so I'm indulging, so.
Or when our son isn't coming over and stealing all our scotch.
Wow.
That should get a reaction from him.
Or our port. Yeah. So these are good midnight munchies. These are pretty good. I think next time I make these, I think we need to do an episode on onion rings.
Hank's got a good one here.
Back in the day, weight gain was not an issue. Good vibes, yeah, Hank. Back in the day, yeah.
Were those?
And then all of a sudden,
Those were the days you could stay out all night till 2 o'clock in the morning, get 2 hours to sleep, and get up for work.
yeah,
I did that. Now I'd die.
yeah, really. Yeah, it's funny. Speaking of weight gain, just recently I was going through our archives looking for something, and about 10 years ago I was featured on an episode of The Barefoot Contessa, and she used to have a segment on her show called Ask Ina. So I wrote her in a question, and they contacted me and said, "Hey, would you film it?" Which has got this whole nonsense started. But so we filmed it. We went up with a little video camera. We filmed it. We sent it in, and I was featured on an episode of her show. And instead of putting my question at the end, they built the whole episode around my question, which was great. But I found that little video, and it's like a 15-second video. But oh my goodness, I forgot what I weighed in those days. I was almost 260 pounds. And I clicked on the video and I went, oh my gosh. And not too long after that, I knew we had both needed to lose weight. So we had started cutting out like processed foods, like we got rid of ice cream and all the instant side dishes, because I said, I know how to cook. Why are we eating this crap? We did it very slowly. And now I'm 40 pounds lighter, and I've maintained that all these years. He's down like 50 pounds from there. So it's kind of possible when you just do it. So we indulge in this once in a while, not too much.
All right, Kevin has a rebuttal.
Uh-oh. You don't drink it, so I have to. Well, sometimes we drink it. But
we let him drink it because he does good work for us.
We mostly keep it for you, Kev.
That's right. He does good work, takes care of our cats, and comes over and does projects with me falling out of a tree and falling off of a ladder. Shoulder issues are an issue, so Kevin comes over and helps me with projects.
Kevin comes up here every year and helps us close, which, yes, you'll be doing again this year, my son.
Yeah, someone's got to climb up and put that cover on.
Yeah. And I won't be here this time. Just you two, you and your dad.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine, too.
I know. We're very controlled, because if we weren't on camera in front of all of you, we would be full Tasmanian devil on these.
Oh, dear.
Honestly.
7 minutes, so we can be full Tasmanian devil mode.
Now, what I'm surprised is we did have a house full of guests this weekend, and we still have like 4 guys who are staying through, and they're like, "Oh, we can't wait to come by for the live stream. We're going to sit in the studio audience." There's no one here. It's just us. So it's kind of nice. It's quiet, but we were ready for this whole crowd to be out there, and they're not. We'll have to shame them later.
Yeah, many times we got about a half dozen people sitting in our benches watching or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
I think they're all hungover. Illumination is a big deal in this campground. There was 1,000 people walking around last night.
Yeah. Yep. So you would think, though, they would be here for that deep drunk time. But I think a lot of people had midnight munchies, because some of our guests, when I got up this morning to do the dishes, and there was like, "Oh, someone had peanut butter and jelly, and people had sandwiches, and someone cooked some eggs last night." Okay. I was inside sleeping. But midnight
Well, we
munchies
were
are
trying to
popular.
sleep. It was very warm last night.
Yeah, I know. I know. You came in, and I was laying there awake, and you thought I was asleep, and you put the sheet over me and patted my little shoulder, and it's like, oh, don't touch me. It's hot. But I just laid there, sleeping.
Stewing under a fan.
Yeah, yeah. That's all right.
Oh.
I expect a huge steak dinner.
Well,
after
since
that.
when?
Duh.
You always get one.
You do. We owe you a dinner for taking care of the cats. Hey, everyone, all the people, and if any of them are watching, thank you for taking care of our cats this week. Karen and Kevin and Jean and Sharon, Cliff and Alan, thank you all. We appreciate it. So we'll have a big dinner one night.
So the running joke is, if we go away from Friday to Sunday, we leave our 4 cats. They're fine. Mm-hmm. If we're going more than that, our son Kevin will pop over and check on them. So you know what the cats are saying? They're saying, "Oh, the boy is here.
The boy is here."
They're not coming home. Uh-huh. They will pay.
Mm-hmm. So far, we haven't yet this weekend, but we'll see.
Oh, I'm sure when we get home, there'll be blurp waiting for us.
That's all right. I'm sure
We'll
Kevin
be using a lot of carpet cleaner.
It's all right. Karen comes on Tuesday. It's our housekeeper, Karen.
It's the one luxury we do afford ourselves after all these years.
So how are we doing on time?
5 more minutes.
Okay, I guess I can talk 5 more minutes about food and midnight munchies.
What do we got coming up? What episodes are we supposed to be working on?
Well,
I'm editing tomorrow for Tuesday.
right. So, what did we just film? We filmed here. Jiminy Crickets. The memory is the first thing to go. Well, we do know the Bee's Knees cocktail is going to be Friday's episode.
Well, you know what? That's funny. I've actually forgotten what we filmed.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. Let me look.
So,
Tangy pork kebabs.
That's
No grill
right.
required.
That's right. Kebabs, pork kebabs. So you notice I'm not wearing an LCTV apron today, and that's because I usually have a supply up here. When we were here 3 weeks ago, I took them all home to wash them, and then we weren't here for 2 weeks. And I forgot that. And Phil said when we were packing up to come here, said, oh, you should probably throw some apron ins. And I went, oh, no, I've got like 10 of them up there. Ha, no. So we had to go out this week and try and find an apron. And I don't really need it, but for the microphone to have it here as opposed to right here. So hopefully the video for Tuesday, the sound won't be weird.
Yeah, you weren't wearing an apron. We didn't have one.
No, right. So it'll be a little different.
Well,
but,
we'll do some selective editing.
we'll figure it out. And maybe either very loud or very soft. But
We'll see what an Adobe Audition
yes,
can
so
do.
coming up for us, we have tangy pork kebabs that you can do in the oven instead of on the grill, because we were here, it was 90 degrees, it was bright and sunny, and I didn't want to be out there in the sunlight over a grill because well, look at me, I burn. And so I thought, why can't we do them in the oven? And we did. So we tweaked the recipe a bit.
Oh, look who's joined us.
Hello! Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Hello, gentlemen. The onion rings look so good. They're my fave. Congratulations on 3K as well. Thank you, Karen.
And Karen just turned 5,000.
Yes.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we love watching her videos. And
We're catching up, Karen.
matter of fact, Karen, we just noticed you've changed the way you do your thumbnails. They're very interesting looking.
Bravo. Thank you. Yeah, onion rings are my fave, too. So maybe we'll do an onion ring episode coming up. I'll develop a sauce, maybe a couple sauces. Hey, could they be a basic skill episode? Sauces. Right? Different aiolis. We could do spicy, we could do garlicky, we could do tangy, we could do sweet.
And we have a lot going on with a lot of the small channels that we're dealing with Karen in the Kitchen and Uncle Bill's and Black Hat Kitchen and a few on. So probably as we get towards the holidays, mentioned Philip is suggesting a cookie swap that we all do recipes on. So I see probably in September, October, a lot more conglomerates.
And speaking of the holidays, I know we all hate to think about it because it's August, still dog days of summer, but they're going to be here soon. And we have to start thinking about them. So we'll be doing, you're going to see some little earlier holiday stuff from us coming up. Because I want people to be prepared for them, know what they're going to do. Because I always get questions right in the 11th hour. You know, the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and people will email me, how do I cook my turkey? How do I make a pumpkin pie? What do I do? I have 12 people coming and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. So,
yes, but we like YouTube in October because we get 40 to 50,000 views.
I know, dear.
On 3 of our episodes that month.
I know.
That's a good month for us.
But like it or not, we're going to start doing some holiday more recipes.
Oh, Hank's got an interesting one here for basic skills.
What's that?
Oh, hold on.
You lost
Come on
it.
here. There we go.
How about the 5 mother sauces segment? Yeah, actually, and I've thought about that, Hank. That's a good idea. I've done some research on that too, and that's a very good idea.
That's one of those, at least part of them might be beyond the level of our audience.
But at the same time, dear, we've been doing this for almost 5 years. So our audience, especially some of the originals, have come along with us. So that's why we're starting to do a little more complicated. I want them to grow too. So yeah, we need basic skills, but Hank's right. The mother sauces, once you master those, you can do anything, go in a million different directions. And those sauces are the basis of so many other sauces and gravies and things.
So, and the runaway in our basics is we have one called How to Use a Mandolin Slicer Safely.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure one of the local cooking schools picked it up because there's 500 to 1,000 views on it every single week.
Yeah.
And it's just 5 minutes how to not die in the kitchen with a man with a slicer.
I mean, it's like,
We
just
made
use
it as
a
a
guard.
throwaway episode
Right.
to kill time, and
Right.
all of a sudden, it's just
Right.
going nuts.
It's like you put it on a dry countertop, you put whatever you're slicing on the guard, and you use your guard, and then you go like this. Use the guard. But so many people don't, and they see, you see the chefs on TV, and they have that other kind, and they're holding it like this, and they're slicing with their bare hand, and yeah,
Show off.
don't do that. Yeah.
It's like
But
the
honestly, the 5 mother sauces, that could be 5 different
5 different
basics.
episodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true. I
Mother
hadn't
sauces
thought
part
of it that
1,
way.
part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
Yep. And then we could branch them off and we could say, okay, you're going to use this mother sauce. Here's another basic skill. And then we make it into this sauce and that sauce.
Oh, the editing schedule just got bigger.
And the filming schedule. So I got to practice some of those sauces. I haven't made them in a while. Haven't thought about them. I think if people can visually see you do it, it makes a big difference in their understanding the sauce recipe. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Karen. I agree with that.
Can you do the 5 mother sauces off the top of your head?
No. Don't ask me that right now, dear.
Because Melissa's asking that.
Not off the top of my head. Not right now.
Hank, can you do it? Can you do the 5 mother sauces? Hank is a
We'll
good...
do it, Melissa. What are the 5
reference.
mother sauces? Please make the episode. I think we're up to it. Absolutely, we'll do it. We'll do 5 episodes. And we'll talk about all 5 in each one. But yeah, absolutely. Had I not been up until 3-something this morning, I might have been able to. But yeah.
Yeah, we aren't functioning really well today.
And we didn't even drink a lot, which is the sad part. We were so on this illumination tour, a lot of the sites offer shots or drinks or something along the way, and you really have to pace yourself as
Because
you're walking through camp.
there's 250 plus sites.
Right.
And
So-
some people plan this all year, so
Right.
there are lighting that you can't imagine how they did this with no power.
Yeah. But then when you have 100 of those sites all have shots or drinks or punches that has God knows what in them, you can hurt yourself pretty easily. So you really want to have to pace yourself.
Gummy bears was the thing this year.
Yeah, boozy gummy bears.
Boozy
That was
gummy
the,
bears.
Yep.
All right, dear, we are coming up on an hour.
Yep. All right. That'd be a fun recipe, boozy gummy bears.
All right, so I guess my research job is to get, I know 3 of the 5, I just don't know all the
Yeah,
others.
I'm just not thinking right now.
Karen says she can remember 3 of them. Right, those are the 3 that I got.
Right.
Bechamel, volate, and hollandaise.
Yeah.
And it will not be Philadelphia Sunday gravy, trust me. That's my pet peeve.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, everybody, we are going to wrap this up.
And we made it through without any thunder and rain. Yay!
Yep. And we like keeping it to hours, so we respect all your time, so you're not hanging here. Oh, wait. Here's Hank. He got them. He's got most of them. Tomato, hollandaise, brown, and bechamel.
I'm not sure. I'm going to look them up now. I don't.
Yeah, I think we're all guessing.
Yeah.
And we're all supposed to know. Sure.
All right. Yeah. First year of cooking school, you learn that. That's all right.
Yeah, it shows you how long it's been, so most of us have been in cooking
30
school.
years, thanks. 30.
You want to tell that story?
Which story is that?
Why they don't like you at cooking school?
So yeah, I wasn't a popular person in cooking school with the school itself. So when I first went to orientation, I'm not going to tell you what school I went to. Then I went to orientation, and I went back as an older student. I was 26 or 27 when I decided to do that. So I was paying for it out of my pocket and working full time and doing everything. So I went in and we're going to orientation, and I said, well, you don't have to go to cooking school to become a chef. If you can read a recipe and follow it, you can cook. And I raised, hi, I can read and follow a recipe already. Why am I here spending $20,000? And then, oh, well, you learn the basics, you learn this, you learn that. And then they went on. She said, well, most of our instructors here never went to cooking school. They started out in the restaurants and worked their way up. Hi, it's me again. Why am I spending $20,000 to come here? And you're going to learn the business, you're going to work all the stations, the front of house, the back of house, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, when you get out of cooking school and you graduate, you are not a chef, you are a cook, and you are going to be out in the restaurants chopping carrots for minimum wage. Hi, it's me again. Why am I spending $20,000 to come here when I can do this all now? So cooking school does give you that foundation, and it's nice to have that degree. Just helps you out a lot, and you do learn a lot. But their presentation of it, trying to, I guess, what they were thinking, but it just wasn't a very good sales for me. Not a good sales pitch.
All right. Let us wrap it up. We want to keep it to an hour, so we respect your time. We don't like to let live streams run different amount of times each. Mm-hmm. If you have an idea that you'd like to see us do for a live stream, we do them every 2 weeks. So we'll close this. We'll be in chat for about 5 more minutes. So if you've got some ideas or comments, we're all ears.
And as always, we will see you Tuesdays for our regular episodes. Fridays for Cocktail Fridays or Basic Skills, and of course every other Sunday for our live streams. And we don't have a subject for our next live stream.
We don't.
Do we?
We're fishing, which means I got to put it. Today's recipe and the cocktail. Whoops. There we go. Today's recipe and the cocktail recipe and links to Black Cat Kitchen will be in our video description and on our Tuesday's recipe. If you're a member of our newsletter, they'll also be in there.
Yep. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Cheers. Cheersing with water.
Well, still cheers.